Hello, welcome to EMB. Our first tutorial is going to look at access control. As you can see on the screen, I am first going to log in and select my device. After we have selected our device, we shall now look at the access control screen. The access control contains four main features. First, add new account. Second, change account. Third, reset password. And fourth, IDS and IPS logs. We shall now look at each one of them into great detail. First, we're going to look at the Add New Account feature. The Add New Account feature has four different fields: Register As, Username, Password, and Email. Register As provides you the following options: Tech Support, Seller, Staff, and Administrator. This information can be updated or added by the administrator when you first use the system. The second one we have to enter is our username. This needs to be a unique ID which can be used to log into the system. The third is a password feature, which uses a multi-character recognition to help valid users to enter and access the system. Lastly, we ask for the email, which can inform the user in case of forgotten password or in case. We shall now go ahead and create a new account. Now, by clicking on the register button, it now takes you to the change person details information. This place allows you to add more information to the individual that you have just added. And you can also select a different number of categories which have been pre-provided. Alternatively, you can also choose to click on the add button, which will allow you to add further categories. You also have the option to choose from a particular gender type, the type of company that this individual is being registered to, and the title that they may have. Let's select Add for Company. As this features are exactly the same across the board, we shall only cover one. So by clicking on the Add button, a pop-up screen appears to allow you to add a new company. Now, for going into the company, following the same principles, by clicking on the Add button on top, it will bring up the pop-up as shown. This pop-up allows you to add the name of the company, the location, and the address if needed. Once this information is entered, it then updates the system, which can now then be added to this particular individual. We shall now go and add this. To do this, you can close the screen by clicking on the X button on top. Additionally, if you'd like to print reports, you can do that as well at this point in time by clicking on the print button, which is same across the board in every part of the system. Now, as you can see, that information for the company has been added. You can also add titles. You have to select the date of birth before you can proceed, and then you can add biometrics, which we shall go into in a minute. It requires a valid date of birth for it to progress. Now, by clicking on the Add Biometrics field, it now allows you to enter a new photograph of the individual, a photograph of the person's fingerprints, which can be used for the system. This can be used with a real-life fingerprint scanner. Now, we shall upload a picture just for example. Now, this picture is going to be my profile page. As you can see, I have chosen a random picture which I have in my memory. Now, with this picture being quite large, I can now choose to crop the image and choose a particular part of it to identify myself, which you can see soon once the image is uploaded. As you can see, it is a picture of people climbing rocks. Now, we should click on the crop button, which will allow me to crop the particular part of the image. Now, once the crop feature is completed, as you can see above, the crop has appeared as my username. Now, I shall save it. Now, as you can see on the persons section, my section has been updated with my biometrics of me as a rock climber. We shall now look at change accounts. Now this information allows you to, again, fill out the information and change a user's details. By clicking on the register button, you can now update the information. You will need to have the user's name and user password to change your access rights. To reset a person's password, you need to click on the Reset Password feature. This feature will then bring up the ability to submit a username, which will then send out a verification email to their address. We shall look at this in further detail in our Forgotten Password section. Finally, we look at IDS and IPS logs. This can also be known as login attempts or failed login attempts. This notes down every time a user attempts to log in has failed. And this notes the IP address that it had come from, the email address it's been registered to, and the username.